Welcome, listeners, to this episode of STEM Explorers, the Vodcast. We are your intrepid guides, Jackie and Chris, educators with a thing for STEM. Last episode of STEM Explorers, we discussed the key elements needed for a successful STEM elementary school. Today, we are investigating teacher buy-in and creating a STEM culture.
Let's talk to an expert. Please welcome our guest, Amber Krieger. Amber is the principal of Pinello STEM School in Widefield School District in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Welcome, Amber. Thank you for taking a few minutes out of your day. I know you're busy. We appreciate you taking the time to talk to us.
Perfect. Yeah, of course.
Amber, you have so much expertise to offer our viewers, but today we are here to get your advice on one thing: getting teachers on the staff on board with your STEM school vision. What advice would you give a principal for getting staff buy-in and building a STEM culture in their schools?
I think advice I would give would start with throwing ideas out to the staff and establishing kind of a leadership team to begin with of ideas. I think what I did, because we've been in a transition period right now with creating more of a STEM culture, is I just threw an idea out about what STEM looks like to them. And I allowed the staff to talk about it. I just listened to ideas for a period of time. And then I figured out who my STEM leaders were. And I allowed them to kind of just have their voice. And I stepped back. So I have a couple members of the staff that are really interested in it, driven by it. And I allowed them to have a voice instead of me necessarily leading it and saying, this is what I want. Another thing that I also think that is allowing us to make gains is I'm not telling every teacher that they need to be in the same place at the same time. I am letting them experience it as they feel comfortable and implement it as they feel comfortable. And so I have some that are taking off and some that are just kind of holding back a little bit and waiting to see from the others or watching the others do it and implementing little bits, which has allowed the staff to not feel pressure behind it, but enjoyment around it with it.
Well, it sounds like you really emphasize shared leadership and then that sort of sense of lowering the pressure level a little bit and sort of really taking the time to get your staff on board, understand that, try a little bit of it, take some risks. It's a safe environment and we're just going to go at it at our own pace. Is that kind of what you were saying there?
Exactly. Make sure the excitement is there for it, not the feeling of this is something else that we have to do, but and it's allowed the students to start to experience it and the staff to see the enjoyment that the students are having with it. And that has pushed the staff feeling around the excitement as well.
And how did you build that excitement from out of the gate? So when you first brought this idea to your staff, how did you build that excitement to get them, even your little core team? How did you get that core team on board?
We just started throwing ideas out there about what does even STEM look like? And then what are the availability of things out there in the world? Because the world has changed so much, and STEM, what it looked like years ago, doesn't necessarily look like that now. And it was started looking at ideas and what are resources you can have and what are some cool the kids just loved it. Also watching through some of our Lego leagues and that the teachers that are involved in that, seeing bits and pieces of what they could do in their classroom that was low stakes, but also push thinking is how I got everyone excited about it.
Very nice. Amber, I want to introduce you to Chris. He's my partner on this project. And so, Chris, this is Amber. Chris, do you have any follow-up questions or anything you'd like to ask Amber?
Hi, Amber. Thanks so much for taking the time out. I can imagine how busy you are. So,
of course.
Thank you so much. I have two that if I could just ask quickly. Just from your seat, what are the biggest barriers that you face to actually bringing your kind of vision for the STEM school to life?
Initially, it was resources. Are we going to be able to get the resources that we need? But the good thing is our district is all in on STEM right now. And so they are trying to seek out resources as much as they can and get them to us. Training maybe was a little bit of a barrier because I have a lot of staff that have been around for a while. And so, like I said, that kind of new vision of what STEM looks like, I don't know that a lot of them knew what that looked like and thought that what they were going into, computer science, STEM, what did that look like 10 years ago? What does it look like now? It's ever evolving. So I think that's kind of what was a barrier at first, but we're going to get through it, I think.
Well, Amber, this is great advice. Our listeners really appreciate your perspective. And I bet we'll be back to learn more from you in the future.
Okay.
For our future episodes of our podcast and vodcast. So we appreciate you very much and your time, and hope you have a great day at Pinello STEM Elementary.
All right. Thank you, Jackie. Have a good day.
Thank you, Amber.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Chris.
We have packed a lot into this quick 5-minute segment. Let's do a quick review. If you are working to build an effective STEM elementary school, consider these ideas for bringing teachers and staff on board. Support of science and STEM education is more successful when principals drive and support the school components and change needed in the schools. That's according to Chu et al. 2015 research. Our advice from Amber was build excitement for the STEM vision, share the leadership, ensure quality teacher training that is ongoing and meaningful, use appropriate and sufficient time and materials, and make sure that it feels safe for the teachers to try them out. And then, of course, set high expectations, but support that with high levels of support for your teachers. Thank you for joining us today on our STEM adventure while we unveil the secrets of success in elementary STEM schools. Join us on our next trip when we scout out opinions on the debate, walk to STEM or integrate in place? That is the question.